Every few years, there's a prospect that comes along at the top of a draft class that everyone knows is going to change the direction of a team forever. Whether it be a combination of scoring potential, playmaking and maturity, or incredible physical gifts, something makes them stand out as the unanimous choice to be taken first. And this year is no different. Cade Cunningham enters the 2021 draft with the highest all-around potential of any prospect in years, and coincidingly is the consensus pick to go number 1 overall in this year's draft. Standing at 6'8" with the ability to play the 1 through 3, the options are limitless for what he could be capable of, and it has franchises all over the league lining up in hopes of winning the lottery. Today we're going to take a detailed look at what makes Cunningham a top prospect, filtering out the hype, and uncovering what his arrival in the NBA means for the future of one lucky team. A number 1 ranked 5-star recruit out of Arlington, Texas, Cade Cunningham chose to spend this past season attending Oklahoma State University. During his time at OSU, he averaged 20 points on 43% shooting, 6 rebounds, and 3.5 assists per game, all while leading them to a 21-9 record. As the driving force of the team, Cunningham proved he could shoulder the load of an offense, including a 40-point outing against number 7 ranked Oklahoma and dropping 29 in the first round of the NCAA tournament against Liberty. Combining these consistent scoring numbers with 6 games of dishing out 5 assists or more, and you have the kind of all-around prospect that could make a difference right away at the NBA level. The immediate thing that stands out about Cunningham when watching him play is the way he gets everyone around him involved, despite his own ability to score. He's extremely unselfish, always looking for ways to make a play or pass a teammate open. This likely comes from his time playing point guard in high school, and while his assist numbers were lower due to being the workhorse in Oklahoma State's offense, he still showed glimpses of his potential as a floor general. It's most impressive when you take a look at the variety of plays he was able to make to create scoring opportunities for his teammates. Everything from handling the ball in the pick and roll to having the court vision to see the backside help of the defense and make the correct skip pass read. He showed an extremely high basketball IQ, especially for a 6'8", 19-year-old. Cade used a variety of angles to feed the ball into teammates and get passes by the defense, something that will prove useful once he's playing against guys with NBA length. This playmaking ability is what sets him apart from other top scoring prospects like Jalen Green, who aren't as developed in that area, and is the main reason that Cunningham was able to rise so quickly on teams' draft boards. Unselfish basketball from a top young prospect is something that you love to see out of a future rookie, something that's sure to make his adjustment to the next level even easier, while also helping him create a winning basketball environment wherever he lands. Even though his playmaking is what separates him from other prospects, there's no doubt that Cunningham's offensive skill set is what has teams most excited. Over this past season, Cade proved to be a one-man automatic offense, making him by far the best one-on-one scorer in this year's draft. With the ability to score at all 3 levels on the court, both in transition and in the half court, there's a ton of potential to unpack when looking at his offensive game. Around the rim, he finished 62% of his shots in the half court, doing so in a wide variety of ways. Whether it be using his strength and size advantage to finish through contact, or pulling out a floater package that he can get off with little space in the paint, Cunningham had his way around the bucket. He has an impressive arsenal of finishes that he uses to create angles to get attempts past shot blockers, giving him an advantage in finishing tough layups. In addition to this, he has a well-developed post game that he tends to pull out when being guarded by undersized players, something that can be a nice advantage when you're already taller than the average guy at your position. Away from the hoop, Cunningham has shown an increased potential as a shot creator, especially at his size. He can work out of the triple threat where he utilizes good footwork to catch defenders lacking, or he can take them off the live dribble with a growing bag of moves to blow by the defense. There's still room for growth with his handles, but he has a great tendency to get to his spots both in the mid-range game and around the perimeter whenever he wants. He creates space in a variety of ways, utilizing a change of speed and pace to his advantage to shift the defense towards the rim and pairing it with a mix of pullbacks and pound dribbles to rise up and get off clean looks. That being said, the aspect of his offense that I think will translate the fastest to the NBA comes from around the arc. He shot 40% from 3 on over 5 attempts per game this past season at OSU, proving he's one of the best all-around shooters in the draft. He was surprisingly efficient both off the dribble and in transition, showcasing a ton of growth as a shooter and knocking down some difficult looks. His percentage rose to 43% when shooting off the catch, an encouraging number considering it proves he doesn't always need the ball in his hands to be effective. He showed a knack for finding open space in the defense off ball, and even ran off a few screens to get open looks. Cade has a smooth release that he can get off with little space thanks to his height and 7'1" wingspan, and I believe he's just scratching the surface of his potential as a shooter. It's no secret that the NBA is a 3-point shooting league, with attempts growing higher every season. If he can continue to develop his all-around perimeter shooting, especially growing more comfortable taking guys off the dribble for threes, the sky's the limit for his potential on offense. Not only did Cunningham prove to be the best all-around scorer in this draft, but he was able to do so when it mattered most. He led the entire NCAA with 106 points in the clutch over the course of the season, knocking down big shots time and time again. Regardless of increased defensive focus or game situation, Cade was able to deliver big buckets for his team in high-pressure situations. When paired with an 84% free throw percentage, it's clear that Cunningham is a player that you can trust with the ball in his hands at the end of games. On the defensive side of the ball, Cunningham proved to be a solid defender. When he's engaged, he's proven to be capable of guarding multiple positions, from checking point guards to even down in the post when needed. That level of versatility is intriguing at the pro level, especially as basketball becomes more positionless. I don't think he'll ever be an all-NBA level defender, mainly because he'll be asked to shoulder such a heavy load on offense, but I can't imagine him ever being a liability defensively either. At the end of the day, he's a competitor, and when he's needed, he's shown that he can stay in front and guard his man with little issue. There aren't many glaring issues in Cunningham's game that are a cause for concern. Some scouts have raised questions about a lack of athleticism and natural quickness, but he more than makes up for it with a high basketball IQ and great size and length for his position. Of course, he'll face the normal growing pains that come with being a rookie, along with the pressure that follows a #1 overall pick. One of the biggest challenges that comes with a player who is capable of doing so many things well is they usually have to learn when to assert themselves as a scorer or playmaker and when to let the game come to them. At times, Cunningham has had a habit of trying to force passes through tight windows and create plays that aren't there. Personally, I like him being overly aggressive trying to make plays, versus the alternative of not having the vision to see those plays develop ahead of time. I think as he continues to gain more experience and learns the flow of the NBA game, he'll get more comfortable and begin showing exactly why people are calling him a generational talent. Cunningham's draft projection isn't a matter of where he gets drafted, but rather who's lucky enough to land the top spot to pick him up. The top 5 prospects in this class have massive potential, so the fact that Cunningham is leading the way should tell you all you need to know about how good NBA teams believe he can be. That being said, there are 2 teams that look to be the front runners for the #1 pick this season. So far, Minnesota has been seen as the favorite to land the top spot even after winning the lottery last season when they selected Anthony Edwards #1. The Timberwolves have struggled in just about every way this season, battling injuries to D'Angelo Russell and Karl Anthony Towns, and seeing Edwards deal with the inconsistencies of being a rookie. Adding Cunningham into the mix would bring them some much needed security at the 3 for their lineup, and give Minnesota one of the most intriguing young cores in the NBA, with 4 top 2 picks in the same starting 5. The other franchise with increasingly likelihood of landing the #1 overall spot, the Houston Rockets, are one that not many could have seen coming a few months ago. After having James Harden force his way out of town and then seeing their trade assets fall through, Houston is left scrambling for ways to save themselves from a free fall. Cunningham provides something that the Rockets desperately need, someone to rebuild the future of the franchise around. He would give stability in his ability to play multiple positions, and actually has the highest floor of any other prospect in this draft, making him a well-rounded prospect that provides hope to a franchise that has fallen quickly from their spot near the top of the West. At the end of the day, it's clear that Cade Cunningham has all the tools you look for in a top pick. Where he lacks in natural athletic ability, he more than makes up for in basketball skill and high IQ. It's refreshing to see a top player that isn't all based on potential and hypotheticals, with a high floor to match a high ceiling. It'll be great seeing him develop over his career and watching him hopefully make an immediate impact wherever he lands. With a skill set that'll be welcomed in the positionless NBA, it's exciting to be able to witness the start of what should be a promising career. Top picks are always paired with unreasonable hype and hard to meet expectations. But I believe Cunningham is more than capable of carrying the weight and proving that on top of everything else, he's got next. What's going on, y'all? This is Trice here. I want to thank you for watching this video. Thank you for your constant support. Don't forget to drop a like, leave feedback in the comment section below, and subscribe for more content. Remember to turn on your post notifications so you don't miss any new videos as soon as they hit YouTube. That being said, look forward to more content coming on the way, and remember to connect with me on social media. As always, this has been Trice. God bless.